Hi, it's Sherry from Quilting Life, and I'm here today with our July block of the month pattern. I can't believe we're on the second half of the year for these blocks. This month's block is super fun. It's got some really small pieces if you're making the 6-inch version, but I've got some tips and tricks that will help you as you sew. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so it's July block of the month. I absolutely cannot believe it's July. I'm actually first going to show you the layouts that I have. So let's see, I've got them in order. So 1, 2, 3. I've seen lots of fun options online when you share your blocks. A lot of people are doing these outer churn dash sections in all different colors, so a really scrappy mix, and that's been really fun to see. I have been just alternating between dark blue, red, and medium blue, and so I've kind of got my pattern going. And sometimes what I do is I just make a little note for myself on the pattern. So next month's block will be dark blue right here for my churn dash border, and then red over here. So I just make a little note so that I remember what fabric to use. But I really love how this version is coming out, and I'll just put up the bigger blocks quickly too. They're a little bit bigger. We'll see if they can all kind of fit. And with these, I've been alternating the gray fabrics for the churn dash sections. And I've also been making sure that they don't stack on top of each other either. So that whenever I decide to do those, I make sure it's not going to have the same fabric as the one above it. But again, some people I've also seen are also just using the same fabric for all of them, and that looks really cute too. The setting is going to have a little cornerstone here with a little something in it. It's a surprise for now, but it will have a really good look with these half square triangles and then the little corner block in there. So I'm really excited about how it's coming along. And let me give you some details about this month's block. First of all, I'm going to show you the back so you can see the pressing on both of these blocks. So I press these seams open. You can see on both the large and the small block. It just really helped for it to be flat. The flying geese units, I actually used the new flying geese, the Creative Grids flying geese trim tool that I just did a video on for the flying geese. What I found though, this is really interesting. I previously was using block lock rulers for those. When I do have a block lock ruler for that size, I actually have been pulling those out just for the trimming, so they haven't gone to waste. Now, all of the sizes on the Creative Grids ruler are not available in block lock to my knowledge, but for the ones I have, I've been just kind of using a combination of the two rulers. You will notice the pieces in this 6-inch block. These are really small. So if you struggle with precision sewing, I suggest that you really test out your 1/4 inch seam allowance. You might want to consider using starch on the pieces for the 6-inch block, and definitely using a trim tool for the flying geese will really help make sure that your block comes out accurate. Now these pieces are oversized so that you trim them down, and that is very helpful too. So make sure that if you're sewing this 6-inch block that you're just really precise. I wanted to give you one other option too. In this block I use the same print for my center pinwheels that I used for my flying geese, and then just this red fabric. So I really only used 2 fabrics plus the background there. But for this one, I added a 3rd fabric. I thought it would be really fun to, I think the pattern shows this in the coral, the orangey coral as well, but I decided to add a different fabric. So you do have lots of options for changing things up. And you could also, I also thought that I could have used a little low volume print in there to add even more interest. I feel like with the 6-inch block, it's so tiny that the tone on tone or the solid is going to be just fine. But for this one, I could have even added another kind of a low volume print. And we have some pictures of the block construction. We'll go ahead and put those up now. You're going to make the center units first and sew them together. And then you're going to add flying geese to the left and right sides of your block and sew the squares to the flying geese for the top and bottom rows, and then sew all 3 of those rows together. So hopefully between the photos that we've just put up and the diagrams on the pattern, that will help you know the order in which you should sew everything together. Okay, that's it for the July block of the month. We have all the details listed in the description below. You can get the link to my blog where you can go and download the free PDF pattern. Remember to download all of the earlier patterns if you've missed any, because these will only be up during the year 2022 for free. I'm so thankful that you're sewing along. If you enjoyed today's video, please share it with a friend, hit the like button, and subscribe to our channel. Thanks so much for stopping by.